our audience about you and what you do.
Sure. I'm a healer. I heal people through food, through energy medicine and trauma bonding, and also through ego work.
Oh, yeah. I remember going to Agatha just to get some, like, just to cleanse some energy. And I feel like, we can talk about energy per se. Let's kind of guide it towards where grief, because obviously, our niche is about grief and grieving sibling loss.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about grief and about where the energy kind of holds up, and when people are like, well, I can't breathe, or, I can't get through this. I can't see myself through this. Go ahead. Because we're just jumping right into this bad boy.
Sure. So in Chinese medicine, grief is held in the lungs. Okay. And also when the lungs become very backed up, so does the colon.
Oh.
And then in the large intestine. So grief, Chinese medicine wise, is held always in the lungs, but it backs up the colon and then it backs up the large intestine. So it starts out as a dis-ease, but then it can become a full-blown disease.
Correct. Wow. Okay. So what have you dealt with, or have you dealt with any clients with grief and they came to you with some heavy grief? What would you say to do, like, with them?
Well, I do trauma work first.
Okay.
Right? I always go into, because trauma is held in the body. It's not held in the mind. A lot of people think because their mind races and they go over things over and over.
The rumination. Yeah, the spiraling and the ruminating.
Exactly. That they think that, trauma is really held in the mind, but it's held in the physical body.
Wow.
And it gets stuck in our physical body. And first it could be just pain, like a backache, an arm, and it'll get worse and worse. I've had people that have gone to chiropractors, acupuncture, and physical pain isn't going away. It's usually trauma stuck in the body. So, and then people with lung issues from grief, and then it can become asthma and emphysema.
Wow.
It can get worse.
Like even like almost as an autoimmune.
Yeah, autoimmune is, big with anyone who's ever, been grief or had any traumatic thing happen to them. Then they do develop autoimmune diseases also.
What made you get started? I know that we kind of talked about, like, when you got ill when you were 20.
Yes.
What made you get started and kind of figure out your purpose, because this is your purpose now?
Oh, definitely. So it all started in my childhood, because my parents were very volatile with each other, and Italians do not get divorced.
No, Madonna, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
A lot of other cultures, they get divorced, and I find that healing, because, what's worse, a broken home or a broken family?
That's it.
In a broken family, people can heal.
Correct.
But in a broken home, it's constant.
It's the same circle, like a rat, like a hamster wheel almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a lot of children get very sick from that. And I'm a sensitive child because, most healers are. We're very sensitive people.
Yes.
So, they were volatile, and I grew up with post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
I was
complex,
very, very sick.
Yeah.
I got really ill in my 20s, but it was due to, never being pampered as a kid. And it's not that they were
nurturing
bad people. I love my parents very much, and I always want to tell that to people, because, we can't hate our parents.
Nope. And
we can't hold grudges, because they've been through whatever they've been through.
Right.
And, my parents, my father didn't really want to get married.
Wow.
But then in those days, I asked my mother, because I started digging when I started studying about healing.
Sure.
I said, why are you two together?
Yeah.
And, she said, he divergenized me. And in those days, you couldn't do that. You know, my mother wouldn't have been able to hold her head up in the village,
Yes.
you know, if he left. So my father's mother said, "You can't leave her.
Right.
You know, I can't walk in this village if you
Wow.
do that." So they got married, and then basically he kind of lived the life he wanted to live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it caused a lot of trauma for her because he was out with women all the time.
I bet.
Yeah, and it was, you know, just a lot of fighting, but they were fighting each other. Believe it or not, they were great parents to us.
But they could be good parents, right? What do they say? Like, not a good husband, not a good wife, but a good parent is two different seculars.
It
like
was.
two different things. Yeah.
In my home, it really was. Like, my father's the one who saw us because my mother was very checked out. You know, she was just out of it, you know, she was a victim all the time. Poor me, this is happening to me.
Mm.
But a lot of people don't realize that a victim is a narcissist because it's me,
Wow.
me, me.
Wow.
This is happening to me, poor me.
Poor me.
I don't have a life. So she was just self-focused through all of
Well, and it's also easier to be a victim.
Yes.
It's very much so. How do you tell people, like, how can you distinguish, you know, when it comes to grief, how can people reconnect with themselves? Like, or how did you reconnect with yourself?
Well, I started with really, it was the energy work for me because in the aesthetic body, right, we have the core, right, which is our childhood,
Right.
and everything we've been through. Then we have genetics,
Right.
which is the DNA that we just get inherited from our family, you know, and even if our family was cheaters, like, you know, you can get that too.
Yeah.
And you can get illnesses.
That's like the ancestral grief that you were talking about. Yeah.
Ancestral grief.
Sure.
You know, that's carried in our DNA.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Then it's history, which is all our past lives.
That's right.
Things we
As an individual.
Things we've been through in a past life. And then it's the soul.
Right.
And the soul is the keeper of time.
That's it.
Of all time and place that we've been through. So when people are wounded, I have to look at all four areas of
like the four quadrants almost.
Yes.
Kind of like the, what was it, the window.
Correct.
You're getting into therapy again. Try not to therapize, but no, but you're absolutely right. I always forget the window. I forget the name, but I'll remember. Eventually it'll come to me. But yes, it's like the four quadrants. Correct. Yeah.
Some people never heal. Why? Because maybe you cleared everything from this trauma and this grief, but you didn't touch on the other four.
The other things tethered to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you have all four areas that are bad, that's a bottom belief.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just stuck in your belief system.
Kind of like that cord cutting.
Yeah. That's when all four.
Right.
Cord cutting is nothing compared to this. This is deep
work. Right.
Cord cutting would be like on a surface
like a
level.
mid. Yeah.
But some people can get through just with that.
Sure.
But when you have deep things that have happened, you know,
maybe we can explain to our audience, because, like, listen, we can talk, and obviously I know about this stuff because I'm very aware and I did my work, and, you know, I've actually, instead of listening to other people, and that's something that I try to do in my healing, instead of listening to anybody else, your experience is going to be different than my experience. So my experience right now, I need to educate I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to respect you, but I'm going to go do my own research. And a lot of people didn't like that about me because now I started to uncover things, and, you know, it kind of like jumped down the rabbit hole. And it's like, okay, we're talking about cord cutting. We're talking about ancestral things that are tied to our soul. Correct?
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Well, our DNA. The genetics is tied to our DNA. It's like it's in our cells.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. If someone is ill, right, and they keep getting ill, and over again, you know, and no one's finding anything, sometimes it's just like on a cellular level.
Yeah.
Things from all our past lives, things we've gone through, or a lot of healers, like, will take in our mother's pain or our father's pain.
Right.
So all of a sudden you're ill. You don't know why. It's not even yours.
Right.
You know, so a lot of times, doctors are not going to catch this. They don't understand this kind of level. They think you're crazy.
That's right. That's right. 100%.
I see things changing a lot. I mean, in my lifetime now, I mean, when I was young, forget it. I mean, now I see so many incredible homeopathic and
Yeah, they're getting
doctors
bigger. Yeah.
that are speaking about
Finally.
things like this, but years ago,
Right. They would never.
no.
But you also said that your great grandmother was a healer as well.
Yes.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like how it was uncovered that you were also a healer?
Well, she was a healer in the village of Italy. She delivered the babies, and she, made herbs and tonics. And one of my healers told me that. And I didn't even know. My parents never spoke about it. And then I asked my mother. And
That's taboo.
Well, no, my mother said it was her grandmother.
Oh.
So she said, I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I forgot. It was my grandmother. She delivered the children and made tinctures and wrapped people if they had broken bones. Yeah. So, and then since I was a young child, I would hear voices and see things. Whenever someone was sick, I knew to make them a certain tea or do certain things.
That's interesting.
But then not until I turned 40 is when I really started.
40 is a good year. 40 is a good year. Let me tell you, I mean, I'm 41 now, but 40 is a good year.
That's when I went into really my gifts. Before, I think it's all the trauma I had in my head too.
Sure.
I mean, you can't see your gifts when you're so traumatized. No. You can't feel anything,
No.
So yeah, then I started to realize my gifts, and I started studying because of my own illness. I had autoimmune disease.
Okay.
I have something called Sjogren's.
What's that?
I know. It's
that's also like what are that, like a 1%, 2%?
Not a lot of people have. I think it's growing now since COVID, because the thing with COVID is it opened up a lot of autoimmune diseases that were laying dormant in our body. It awoken them.
Sure.
So it's like a mast cell acceleration. You get a lot of aches and pains, dry eyes, dry mouth.
Okay.
Even it can get really bad, and like some people, it's in your tissues. Some people, they can't walk.
Right.
But I also believe they're not treating it the way
it's supposed to be treated.
Sure. Because you have to, and even now with all this parasite cleansing and cleansing, and,
I needed one. Wait, I have to tell you a quick funny story. So I ordered these chocolates from Austria, and you're supposed to take like 7 of them, but I didn't take a binder with it. So you're supposed to take these chocolates, you're supposed to take a binder, like a activated charcoal to do it. Like, I'm all about the things. Like, guys, sometimes don't even listen to me, because I'm all about the things, and I'm all about trying it. And they're like, that's not FDA approved. I'm like, yeah, okay, neither are the chemtrails, but we're getting off topic, right? But in the same token, I'm just kind of like, okay, we do have parasites. We do. And I can even see it in my kid. Like, it's probably like pinworm, because of, the dirt. They put their hands in. Kids are disgusting. They're pigs. They're just like, they stick their fingers in them. I can't. Anyway, with that all being said, you were saying that, with everything that's out with the parasites.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you have to be careful when you parasite cleanse, because, you spoke about a binder, but even deeper is, are your detoxification pathways open? Because
so then it's like lymphatic drainage.
They're not draining. So you're killing the parasites.
Sure.
They're releasing this gas, right? And they're making people more and more sick, because they're not actually draining,
passing it
and coming out.
Right.
So, like, it's an art to detoxify someone,
and everybody's different.
And they're taking things a lot of people are taking things into their own hands, and then they
My bad.
Autoimmune disease.
Sure. Thanks, Steve. Because I'm a disaster.
if you have autoimmune disease, what
You have to be
happens
very
is
careful with that.
everything's stuck now in your tissues, right? So
Yes.
now you're releasing everything,
Sure.
but it's becoming stuck in your
Stuck.
tissues.
Right.
So what happens is your body's autoimmune heightens. And it's like, get the pathogens, because so it starts attacking its own tissues.
Right.
So now a lot of people come to me even sicker because they're detoxifying, and then the
They're not really
body's
getting everything out.
attacking itself.
Right.
You know, but if you have a pathogen,
Mhm.
you know, if you do a detoxification pathway opener before you go after pathogens, and then the binder, those are very important to do them all
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you share like a ritual slash just maybe something to help people with grief or trauma? Because I'm always interested in hearing the holistic, non-Western ways and the ways to help our audience, because they are always asking like, we need help. And I'm like, okay, well, did you talk to somebody? Oh, well, it's just too traumatic. Okay, did you do EMDR? Well, what's EMDR? And then it's like you start going down that rabbit hole. And then it's like, okay, on a cellular level, right? Or DNA, you know, the things that you work on, because you do the data, what is it? Data reading?
No, it's just it's basically I check and see, you know, for the to see where it's stored in which particular place.
Please. Yes.
You know, but what I find great for grief is there's a few things. I put a bundle together for
I know,
your
guys. We got our first deal, guys.
And it's
woohoo! Thanks, Steve.
So you're gonna get a percentage off. But homeopathic medicine, right? Like grief, I gave you grief, you know, then I gave you lung drainage, and I gave you lung and intestinal drainage.
Oh.
All right. So when you start to take them,
the tinctures.
So now the grief is stuck in the lung, right? So is the energy. Right. So like liver is anger.
That's it. Yes.
Lungs are grief.
Yes.
You know, gallbladder is worry. Bladder is like pissed off.
Yeah.
I mean, so every organ has an emotion.
That's right.
So I notice if I work on people and it comes back again, I like using this homeopathic remedy because it goes very deep into the organ to release the trapped energy.
Got it.
So homeopath is beautiful because you don't have to worry about taking it with other medicine or anything like that. And also
just herbs.
Right. It's herbs in water and in alcohol. So they're much more gentler.
Right.
There's a lot of people with autoimmune, I can't even do strong herbs on them.
Right.
Because again, the tissues start, you know, the body starts to attack itself to get the pathogens that you're killing. But with homeopath, it's really just like more lymphatic movements and drainage, and it's moving out.
Right.
So the grief will go very deep into the lungs.
Wow.
You know, and then there's like herbs like mullein. You know, that's great for
I have
lungs.
that. I have it at home. Mullein leaf, especially during allergies. And during COVID, I was taking those. Yeah. Oh, you know, on top of NAC and the whole 9 yards, you know, again, you know, that's really interesting. Okay. So guys, just to let you know, like I will upload it. We will put the links on. Obviously, when Agatha's episode airs, we're going to share that so then you guys can take advantage of a discount. Yeah. Now, when it does, so let's just say with the grief one, like what does it do when you put the drops in?
It's energy medicine.
Okay.
You know, so it is an herb, but it's finding the trapped energy.
Sure.
So it's releasing it on a cellular level.
Amazing.
So you're cleaning your cells out.
Okay.
And, you know, there's different foods that are great.
I was just going to ask you, like, what foods do you feel could help people with grief right now?
Greens. All greens. They're
interesting
for the lungs. I mean, they're incredible lung medicine.
I feel like the book Choi, I need like a good recipe. By the way, she has a recipe book. I had to plug that in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Steve. Like, okay, so the book Choi, like, I feel like that's like a really green.
Yeah, collards.
Collard greens.
I mean, dandelion.
Yes, dandelion root. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love a good broccoli rabe, you know, a little Italian broccoli rabe, you know. I love it. The more garlic, the better. Even though I don't know how much I can handle with that, right? What, I think this is an interesting question, and I think that you're the perfect person to ask for this. What are the misconceptions about holistic healing? Like, you know how everyone's like, no, it's not from the doctor. You didn't go to school for 12 years. We're human. We know how to read. Mm-hmm. We know how, like, it doesn't take you paying tens of thousands of dollars to say MD. So what is the misconceptions, do you feel?
So I'm going to tell you the real story about it. And
sure.
It's, hundreds of years ago, women were the healers of the villages.
Sure.
Okay? And the doctors were educated, and they were the men.
Wow.
So the women would go up to the mountains and to the rivers, and we'd get channeled on what herbs to make for the people we were serving and helping.
Sure.
A lot of them didn't get paid. Maybe they bartered, got food.
Mm-hmm.
The doctors were getting paid, and then the women were getting better results than the doctors.
Right.
So they started calling them witches and killing them and burning them.
Yeah.
Until this day, doctors feel very threatened.
Yeah. By the holistic.
By the whole holistic. They think it's hairy-fairy. They don't believe it's real.
Right.
But, just food alone.
Right. Because the food, even the ground, I feel like is just not good. Like the soil is not good.
Now, what's happened with our food is horrible. But I'm going to tell you that I see major changes in people just when I change their diet. Just when I change food. Food is powerful medicine on its own. Here in the United States, it's a mess.
Right.
But when I go to Europe,
it's a different ball game.
Oh my God, I'm like fine in like a month.
Yeah.
It's like 2 weeks and I come back a different person.
Yeah.
And I could eat anything there.
Yeah.
So it's very important that, for people who don't want to believe food is medicine, herbs are medicine, they are. And we would grow them ourselves.
That's right.
And my mom, she died at 95 years old.
Oh, God bless her. Wow.
I remember when my friend Dan came, he's a forager, and he would come to my house. And he would, go to the yard and he'd say to my mother, "What was this for?" Because she didn't know names of anything.
Oh, she knew about the plant itself.
Yeah. She said, "Oh, that was for her stomach. This is for the lungs.
Wow.
This was for, fever." Wow. Like, she knew everything because that's what everyone did.
Well, that's what we used to do, live off the land.
Yes. I don't know why they want to put such bad,
Big pharma.
It's very sad, but,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. It's not about keeping people healthy. It's all about the money. And I feel that, that kind of just circles into everything, right? Like how people are dying just because of even health issues that could have been prevented.
Correct.
Because of the type of food and everything out there. Even that, right? I'll even take it to the next level. Your teeth are actually connected to organs in your body. And I was dealing with like an abscess on my one tooth. And when I looked it up, it said stomach and spleen. And it's so funny because I would always have pain in my stomach and spleen. And I'm like, well, where did this come from? Was this after pregnancy? Whatever. And then the abscess came and I said, all right, this bad boy's coming out. Like we're going to get this root canal out.
Yeah.
Because my body's rejecting it.
All women with breast cancer, they linked it to the root canals?
Yes, the metal.
No, it's the root canals. The sepsis, like they get
sepsis. They get infections. Yes,
and it's always on the breast meridian.
Yes,
and they were getting infections, and they linked it to that.
I wonder if that also. And then that just makes me with my critical thinking, because not a lot of you do a lot of critical thinking, and you really need to. But like putting 2 and 3 together, like. So even with that they were saying that the metal that was in deodorant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's like all connected. Like it's just activating. Mm-hmm. It's just waiting for the right time to activate.
I mean, it's everything now between the water, the dirt,
Yes.
all the chemicals in our food, our creams,
Right.
our lotions. I mean, it's just we're so no one can get a break. All these children are born so toxic,
Yes.
so
Yep.
sick. I see it all the time. They have sensory issues.
Yes.
And that to me is all the heavy metals in the brain.
Metals. Yes.
I mean, when I start detoxing the brain, I notice that the children get so much of their speech back.
Calming
A lot
down.
of their sensory issues leave.
Right.
I mean, it's so the world is so different now.
Yes. From the 80s when we used to drink the hose water. I mean, you drink the hose water. I mean, some of the things that we even had, even the food, like that didn't really affect us. But now,
in my book, like I tell people, because I'm Italian, I didn't know what happened to me with wheat. I was like, how could I eat wheat my whole life, and now I can't eat wheat?
Yeah.
When I took a real deep dive after I went back to Italy, because I was eating there and fine.
I'm sure.
You know what it is? A lot of people don't know this till this day. All my clients are shocked. Not all of them have celiac.
No.
What we're doing is we're putting enriched flour.
Enriched flour, yes.
Yes.
To bleach it.
That's a fake vitamin. So
kind of like folic.
They're using exactly, and they're not using folate.
Right,
They're
correct.
using folic acid.
Right, instead of the B12 folate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of people that have the MTHFR gene,
yes.
You're putting
Speaking my language.
You're putting this in the flour, in the rice.
Yes.
All right. Now I would eat rice and flour, and I'd be so deathly sick, blown up, sick. Why? Because my body can't methylate that.
That's right.
I have that gene.
Yes.
Right. But even people who don't even have the gene, everyone now has dirty genes anyway.
Correct.
Because of all.
But now you need to figure out which gene that you have, and you have to get your blood work done. You have to go to a functional doctor, because your actual doctor will not do that.
It doesn't understand it.
Right, correct. Do you believe that some trauma or resilience is passed down through generation? Do you?
Oh, yeah.
100%. And I know we kind of jumped into that in the beginning, but kind of just to, like, even with the grief, right? Where, eventually everybody's going to pass, right? Like, we know this, we're aware of this. It's the inevitable. We're not going to be able to surpass it. We're not going to live forever. Although these videos, I always say with Liz, are always going to live forever. But what do you think is really the most that has been passed down? Because I always hear the negative that's always passed down, right?
Well, this is kind of heavy. I mean,
yes.
There's something, I hope I'm saying it right, because
sure.
I'm not, I love homeopathic, but I'm not a homeopathic doctor. I use a lot of it, but there's something called myisms, right? And that they live in the fluids of our body. And that's the genetics that were passed on from generation to generation. So it stems all from like syphilis, TB, right? Even cancer.
Sure.
So what's happening, those dark energies are living in the fluids of our body.
Interesting.
Right? So they get passed from generation to generation. So there's, this company that I linked you with, they have something called multiple miasms, where you use that to start to clear those,
negative energies
out of your body, and it's like a lot of people with a lot of mental health issues.
Sure.
That stems from there.
Sure.
So, there's like, beautiful green eyes that get passed in our body.
Yeah.
There's,
in addition to
there's things
what those green eyes have seen. Yes. In their past life. What would you suggest for, let's just say right now, I'm going through like a real heavy time with grief. And I came to you and I'm like, okay, Agatha, like I need your help. What would you suggest?
So the first thing I do is I start to work on the body, and see where it's stored. And I guide you through like an ego talk.
Okay.
Right? It's hard to explain. It really is. Like even my clients, when they tell people to come to me, they're like, I don't know what she does. I don't know.
Just go to her. Just go. Figure it out. Yeah.
But and then it's a trauma release. Like they cry, some
Mm-hmm.
people scream, they release it.
Right.
But it's just the energy, when you're moving out the energy and you address where it came from.
Sure.
Once the ego makes the connection,
Yes.
what happens is the subconscious goes into the conscious and it releases. Boom.
Right.
So a healing is an instant.
Correct.
Because once you make that connection,
That's it.
it leaves the body.
Wow.
So, but if you're home, I tell everyone, like sound like,
Om chant.
just like sitting.
I have a guru in
6
India,
minutes.
and
Yeah.
he does the Om chant, and love you, Shri Kalp. So that's my guy, and that's whenever he does that, I'm like this. And I knock out because he's in India, right? Like, and it's so powerful.
Yeah, I do what I do over the phone.
Yes.
Too. I don't need anyone there.
Yeah.
But it's very, and also I used to love, what are they called? I forget them now. Well, where you put them on the vibration.
The vibration pulse, yeah.
What are they called? They're not
the tambourine.
They're silver. Oh my God.
The triangle?
Tuning forks.
Oh, I wouldn't have known that, girl.
The tuning forks, they all have a different vibration.
Oh.
So if you look for the vibration of, grief,
sure,
it'll tell you which tuning fork to use. You put it in your lungs, your throat.
Because it's the throat chakra.
And it'll, move out that vibration too.
Wow.
Just like that's what the Om is doing too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that vibration releases a lot of stuck energy.
It's like going back. Right, going back to basics, right? Yeah. Like I feel like, but I also feel, and I probably want to get your perspective of it, because Liz and we talk about it all the time, that how like sometimes we're just so devastated with grief. Obviously, you see her sister's picture there, my brother's pictures there, where we're so devastated, right? Because this is our younger siblings. We lost them tragically. They still had so much more life to live, although whatever their soul contract was, that's what it was. But what can you say to someone who has had such a heavy, heavy loss, right? Like this, for example, how do you celebrate their life? Like, how do you celebrate death, right? Like you have the Dia de los Muertos, right? Like you have the Mexican tradition, but what would you say in your perspective?
It's everyone's experience.
Sure.
And I really don't believe that if you don't want to celebrate life, you shouldn't. Like now, this forgiveness stuff has gotten a little crazy online to me.
Oh, okay.
Like you gotta forgive. Sometimes I've seen people that have gone such horrific stuff.
Sure.
They can't forgive.
Right.
I mean, and if they
I feel like it's forgiving for them, not for the person, because you're carrying that weight.
That's true.
Yeah.
But even if you mention that word, it causes more trauma to some people.
Sure. Because they become angry.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm not saying, of course, if you can, let that go, because like you said, when you don't forgive, it's like you want them dead, but you're drinking the poison.
That's right. They're living rent-free in your head.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But, to push someone into forgiveness, or to push someone into letting someone go that has passed tragically that they loved, that's re-traumatizing people.
Sure.
I mean, everyone is going to get there when they do. I would just do levels of healing, just keep peeling back each level of healing.
Sure.
And slowly but surely, they function deeper and deeper. And
do you feel like, and again, I think I'm just, because this is just our conversation as always, do you feel like when there is a death, there is an awakening in that person?
Oh, yeah.
Major. Yeah.
It shows you so many things, how precious life is.
Sure.
To say things that you want to say, to forgive.
Right.
To love.
Yeah.
to show love,
Be kind. Be kind. Because we don't know.
Don't know if you have tomorrow.
That's right.
We don't know.
Absolutely.
But I really leave everyone's process up to them. Though.
Sure.
I really do.
Sure. Absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for everyone joining. I think this was such a great conversation. You've learned so much. You said that so we get a percentage off for the bundle, which is fantastic. We'll post that. Agatha, I thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. And I can't wait. I can't wait to, because you come back, right?
Sure.
You're gonna come back when Liz is here, so then you could be like, "Hey, girl, come see me. You need to do a little cling," and then, But besides that, I'm being funny. But I always appreciate your perspective, not only perspective, but just your education and your knowledge, right? Because I feel like your knowledge is very deep. You take that very personally. And I always see that in your social media and even on your website. Like I always see you growing and continue to grow. Yeah. And I love this about you. Yeah, same. I'm a nerd. I'm a bookworm. Yeah. I mean, I have a 2-year-old now, so it's hard for me to read. I have a couple of books stacked this high, but I'll get to it. It'll happen in time. I know, but audiobooks, not with a yapper. She's a certified yapper and she's only 2. Oh. I know. Thank you so much, everyone. Also, please follow us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, TikTok, Instagram. I think I got it all. Thank you, Steve, always for the bells. And thank you all for listening and being a part of the community. And thank you so much, Agatha, for being my co-host.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.